Every single year, the human race collectively decides that about 2 billion tons of stuff is no longer our problem. We call it trash, and we've spent the last century trying to perform a global vanishing act. We've tried the classic bury it and hope for the best method, which gave us landfills the size of small cities. We've tried the burn it and breathe it method, which essentially just turns our old sneakers and pizza boxes into a toxic seasoning for the atmosphere. We've even tried the ignore it until it floats away strategy, which resulted in a swirling plastic island in the Pacific twice the size of Texas. But as the piles get higher and the oceans get more crowded, we always come back to the same desperate question. Why don't we just shoot it into space? We've already talked about why the sun is a nightmare. It's a gravitational fortress that is surprisingly hard to hit. So naturally, the world turns its eyes to the next closest thing, that giant, glowing, silent rock hanging in our backyard. The moon. It's right there. It's huge. And let's be honest, it's not like anyone is using it. It's 73 quintillion tons of dead rock just sitting in a vacuum. It feels like the ultimate set it and forget it solution. But if you think turning the moon into the galaxy's biggest attic is a quick fix, you are about to have a very bad time with the laws of physics. To understand the scale of this disaster, you have to look at the arrival problem. Space isn't a vacuum cleaner, it's a shooting range. On Earth, we have a thick, beautiful blanket of air called the atmosphere. It's great for breathing, but it's also great for braking. When something falls toward Earth, the air pushes back, creating drag. We can use parachutes to drift a cargo ship gently down to a landing pad. The moon? The moon has nothing. It is a total vacuum. There is no air to slow you down. If you launch a cargo ship filled with 50 tons of discarded lithium batteries and plastic milk jugs toward a lunar crater, it won't just land. It will arrive at roughly 5,000 miles per hour. Without an atmosphere to act as a brake, your trash delivery becomes a kinetic impact bolt. Imagine a building-sized block of compressed garbage hitting the lunar surface at 5 times the speed of a high-powered rifle bullet. You aren't building a landfill, you're detonating a trash bomb. The impact would be so violent that the trash would instantly vaporize, turning into a white-hot cloud of molten plastic and metal. This cloud wouldn't just stay put. In the low gravity of the moon, those shards and particles would go screaming across the horizon, peppering the entire lunar surface with a fine, toxic dust. One botched landing and you've essentially glitter-bombed the entire moon with a layer of indestructible filth that would shred the spacesuits of any future astronauts like a cheese grater. To avoid this, you'd need soft landing technology. That means every single trash ship needs its own fleet of rocket engines and enough fuel to cancel out its entire orbital speed. In the world of rocket science, we call this delta V, and it is the most expensive thing in the universe. Right now, it costs thousands of dollars to move just 1 kilogram of matter into low Earth orbit. To take that same kilogram, fly it to the moon, and land it softly enough that it doesn't turn into a crater, you're looking at a price tag that makes a solid gold toilet look like a bargain. Let's do the math, and keep your calculator handy because these numbers don't even feel real. Your average person produces about 4 pounds of trash every single day. If you wanted to ship just your personal yearly output of garbage to the moon, the bill would likely exceed the cost of a luxury mansion in Beverly Hills. Now, multiply that by 8 billion people. We are talking about an amount of money that doesn't even have a name yet. We would have to bankrupt every school, every hospital, and every government on the planet just to ship a single month's worth of Amazon boxes and yogurt spoons into the sky. But let's say we had a cheat code. Let's say Elon Musk or some trillionaire genius invents a way to make rockets cost as much as a bus ticket. We still have the logistics apocalypse. To keep up with the world's daily trash production, we would need to launch a heavy lift rocket every 90 seconds. Every 90 seconds. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. We would be punching holes in the ozone layer so fast, the sun would literally start cooking us. We'd be destroying the only livable home in the known universe just to make sure we didn't have to look at a pile of tires in the suburbs. And for what? The moon has no away. On Earth, if you dump something in the woods, eventually the rain washes it, the wind covers it, and the Earth swallows it. On the moon, there is no wind, there is no rain, there is no biological decay. If you drop a plastic bag on the moon today, it will look exactly the same a billion years from now. For all of human history, the moon has been our North Star. It is the symbol of romance, the inspiration for every poet who ever lived, and the target of our greatest scientific achievement. If we turn it into a dump, we ruin the view for every human being who will ever be born. With a decent pair of binoculars, you wouldn't look up and see the Sea of Tranquility or the Apennine Mountains. You'd see the Great Mountain of Discarded Refrigerators. You'd see the Canyon of Rusted Sedans. The moon would stop being a glowing white orb of mystery and start being a gray, glinting graveyard of consumerism. We would be the first generation in the history of the species to look at the night sky and see our own filth reflecting back at us. Then there's the space elevator argument. People love to say, just build a cable to the stars and slide the trash up. But a space elevator is one of the most delicate structures ever conceived. It would be a thin ribbon stretching 22,000 miles into the sky. Do you really want to be the guy who accidentally snaps the most important cable in human history because a 10-ton block of wet cardboard got stuck in the gears? One accident, and you have 20,000 miles of carbon nanotubes falling back to Earth like a whip. The truth is, when we talk about sending trash to the moon, we are just looking for a magic wand. We want a way to keep buying things, keep using things, and keep throwing things away without feeling the consequences. But the universe doesn't have a trash folder you can just empty. The moon isn't a shortcut, and space isn't a dumpster. Every pound of plastic we produce is a pound of plastic we have to live with. The real, high-tech, 21st century solution isn't a fleet of garbage-hauling rockets or a lunar landfill. It's the boring stuff. It's material science. It's figuring out how to turn old junk into new junk without losing energy. It's designing products that don't die after 6 months. It's not as cinematic as a moon-based dump, and it doesn't make for a cool sci-fi movie trailer, but it's the only way to make sure the night sky stays bright and our own backyard stays livable. Because right now, the moon is staying pristine, the sun is staying out of reach, and we are still stuck here on this tiny blue marble, holding the bag. And honestly, that's probably for the best. Because if we can't figure out how to clean up our room here on Earth, we definitely don't deserve a second room on the moon. For now, those weird tiny yogurt spoons are staying right here with us. And the moon? It gets to stay a masterpiece.